가만히 있어.
니들도 똑같아.
The story begins on a crowded subway train. A young college student named In-soo rides alone, speaking with his mother on the phone. He insists that everything is fine, though it is clear he is unsettled. In-soo has a strange gift. He can see ghosts. Because of this, he carries a small locket that spins whenever a spirit is near. Suddenly, the locket begins to shake violently. Looking around, In-soo sees the ghost of a young girl standing among the passengers. Terrified, he rushes off the train. At home, the locket spins again. He checks the room nervously and then realizes the same ghost is sitting on his shoulders. Instead of harming him, the ghost pleads for help. She explains that she was murdered and only wishes for her parents to know where her body lies. After some hesitation, In-soo informs the police and the case is resolved. Although he has helped the spirit, In-soo feels exhausted. His ability isolates him, and his classmates mock him as the ghost seer. Longing for a normal life, he decides to leave school in the city and return to his hometown. He contacts his uncle, a man named Hakuru, who warns him not to abandon his studies. But In-soo is determined. On the way home, he notices a quiet girl sitting at a bus stop. She smiles at him faintly, but he ignores her and continues on. Soon, In-soo arrives at his uncle's house. His uncle shares the same ability to see spirits. Though unlike In-soo, he has become a skilled exorcist, helping restless souls move on. The next morning, In-soo transfers into his old school, hoping for a fresh start. But once again, he draws attention. A group of bullies quickly notices him. One of the girls, Hyunji, flirts openly with him, angering her boyfriend Haechul. During class, In-soo glances outside the window and freezes. A girl wearing a white mask is standing silently in the courtyard, staring at it. Later that day, In-soo walks home after school. Suddenly, Haechul and his friends ambush him from behind. They beat him severely, warning him to stay away from Hyunji. Even though she was the one flirting, Haechul blames him and makes it clear that any attention toward her will be punished. In the middle of the attack, Haechul brings up a chilling memory. He mentions a girl named Ah-young, who died years earlier under mysterious circumstances. In-soo remembers her well. She was one of the first ghosts who appeared to him, begging for help. But as a child, he was too afraid to speak out. His silence haunted him, and her death became one of the reasons he left for the city. That night, one of the female bullies from the group returns home. On her front door hangs a plastic bag. Curious, she takes it down, but when it tears open, blood splashes across her face. Panicked, she tries to call her friends, but the call never connects. Before she can escape, the masked girl from earlier suddenly appears and attacks. The girl screams, but no one hears her. Moments later, she is dead. Meanwhile, In-soo spends time with a mysterious girl he noticed before, named Rose. Unlike other spirits, she appears calm and friendly. In-soo finds comfort speaking with her, even though she is clearly a ghost. As they sit together, a cold wind passes through. Rose stiffens and warns him that the masked girl is close. Frightened, In-soo runs away. The following day at school, Hyunji bullies another student in front of the entire class. In-soo finally steps in, telling her to stop. The bullies move to attack him again, but Hyunji surprisingly holds them back. It seems her interest in him is growing. That evening, In-soo and his uncle watch a news report. Police have arrested a murderer after 10 years, a man known for always wearing a mask. The story immediately reminds In-soo of the masked ghost he saw at school. He asks his uncle about her, hoping for answers. At that moment, a spirit in their home quietly reveals the ghost's name. See, that night, two members of the bullying group sneak back into the school. They want to recover a cell phone that a teacher confiscated earlier. After retrieving it, they wander into an empty classroom. The girl excuses herself to the bathroom, leaving the boy alone. As he waits, he hears a faint noise. When he opens his eyes, the masked ghost looms over him. She strikes without mercy, killing him instantly. In the bathroom, the girl grows uneasy when she hears heavy thump. Believing it to be her boyfriend playing a trick, she shouts for him to stop. But when she returns to the classroom, she finds his body laid out before her. Terrified, she tries to call for help, but Essie appears and corners her. The girl screams as the ghost finishes her off. The next day, news of the murder spreads quickly through the school. Fear grows among the students, especially Hyunji, who realizes her friends are being targeted one by one. In-soo begins searching for information about Essie. He asks his classmates, but no one dares to speak. Their silence makes it clear they all know more than they admit. Later, while spending time with Rose, In-soo receives a message from a classmate. She sends him a photo of Se-hee, along with a warning not to ask about her again. Disturbed, In-soo turns to Rose for answers. She tells him the truth. Everyone already knows how Se-hee died. Realization hits him. The bullies were responsible. Enraged, In-soo lashes out at Hae-chul, but the stronger boy easily overpowers him and beats him down. Even so, In-soo smirks through the pain and warns them Se-hee is coming for them all. That evening, Hyunji confides in Hae-chul. She shows him a photograph of Se-hee's father, convinced he is the one killing their friends for revenge. Hae-chul agrees, and the two decide to find him and end it themselves. Before they leave, Hyunji secretly sends a message to In-soo, revealing their plan. In-soo reads Hyunji's message and quickly tells his uncle what has happened. Even though he despises the bullies, he knows they are in real danger. His uncle warns him to be careful and hands him a special dagger, a tool meant for protection against spirits. Meanwhile, Hae-chul and Hyunji enter Se-hee's old house. The air inside is heavy and silent, until a dull thumping sound echoes from a large wooden box. Nervously, they search the room and notice disturbing images of Se-hee on the walls. Suddenly, the truth becomes undeniable. In-soo was right. Se-hee's ghost has returned for revenge. Before they can flee, the box bursts open. Se-hee's father emerges, but he is not himself. His body is possessed by his daughter's vengeful spirit. He lunges at Hae-chul and kills him brutally. Hyunji screams in terror as she watches her boyfriend die. She falls to her knees, begging for forgiveness and promising to change. But the spirit shows no mercy. Her cries are ignored, and she too is killed. Moments later, In-soo arrives. He enters the house and finds the bullies' lifeless bodies on the floor. He also sees Se-hee's father, still under possession. From inside a closet, he hears faint movement. Opening the door, he finds a girl wearing the white mask. Slowly, he removes it and is shocked to discover Rose. The story shifts to the past. Se-hee was once a cheerful student at the same school, but after she reported Hyunji's bullying to the teacher, Hyunji was humiliated in front of everyone. In retaliation, she and her gang tormented Se-hee relentlessly. They beat her, pulled her hair, set it on fire, and forced her to wear a mask so she could not speak. The rest of the class looked away, too afraid to intervene. The constant cruelty broke her spirit. At home, she cried endlessly. Her father urged her to report them again, but she refused, saying it would only make things worse. Eventually, the abuse became unbearable. Se-hee took her own life. Her spirit split into two. One side became Rose, the kind and gentle girl In-soo grew close to. The other became the masked ghost, consumed with rage and determined to destroy those who had tormented her. Back in the present, In-soo searches the house and discovers a diary. Inside, every name of Se-hee's tormentors has been crossed out, except one, the head teacher. This means the vengeful spirit still has one last target. Alarmed, In-soo calls his uncle and urges him to go to Se-hee's house immediately to perform the burial rites. Then he rushes toward the school, hoping to protect the teacher before it is too late. That night, the head teacher works alone in her office. Suddenly, Se-hee's ghost appears on her computer screen. At the same time, all the students receive a strange message summoning them to the library. In-soo arrives as well, frantically asking about the teacher, but no one has seen her. The lights flicker and then shut off. In the darkness, Se-hee appears, having possessed the teacher's body. She faces the students and declares that because they ignored her suffering, they all deserve punishment. Around the room, gasoline has already been poured. Se-hee flicks open a lighter and throws it toward the floor. Just before it lands, Rose appears and catches it. The two spirits face each other. Rose pleads with her other self to stop. She insists that revenge will not end her pain, but the vengeful side is too strong. She rejects Rose, striking her aside and continuing her assault. Meanwhile, Hakuru begins his ritual at Se-hee's house, battling the spirit's growing power. Windows shatter and objects tremble as the exorcism begins. At school, In-soo desperately checks his locket to see who might be under the spirit's influence. When the locket spins near a student, he rushes to her and hands her the diary. Inside is a sketch from years ago. It shows Se-hee as a child, drawn by In-soo himself. A memory surfaces, Insu and Saehi were childhood friends. She once defended him from bullies, and he had cherished her ever since. Realizing this truth, Insu apologizes through tears for not recognizing her sooner. The distraction gives Hakuru just enough time to finish the ritual. As the incantation concludes, a glow spreads from the magical dagger Insu carries. Rose steps forward, gently taking the dagger in her hands. She looks at Insu one last time and then drives the blade into herself. The act releases Sae's spirit. A series of memories flood back. Moments of friendship and warmth between her and Insu as children, days before the bullying consumed her life. Slowly, her vengeful side fades, and her soul is freed at last. The chaos inside the library subsides. The students remain shaken, but they are alive. Sae is gone. Sometime later, the school gathers at her grave. Students who once turned away now stand quietly, mourning her loss. Insu is there too, holding a sketch he drew of Rose. He leaves it at the grave as his final farewell. Years pass. Insu grows older and returns to the same school, this time as a teacher. On his first day, he greets his class, but as he looks toward the back of the room, he notices something unsettling. A girl sits alone at the last desk. The other students explain that the seat belongs to someone who transferred schools recently. When Insu looks again, the girl is still there, watching silently. He realizes it is another spirit.